Hello, everyone. Welcome to Ask Me Anything Summer Birthday Edition. I am just going to get myself situated here and we're going to have fun today. So, whether it's just me, myself, and I, or other people come on, I am going to be answering questions that I've gotten in the past. And let's get started. So, let me make sure that I am streaming live here. I always check myself. That little tech check. Here we go. Cool. Okay. So, if you're watching the replay, here is something fun that we're going to get started with. So, two truths and a lie about Christina. Okay, here it is. Two truths and a lie is you have to guess which one is the lie. So, if you've never played it before, this is how you play. Okay, so here are the three statements. One of them is a lie. Write in the comments which one you think it is. Okay. Statement number one, I won a bikini contest in Las Vegas. Statement number two, I lived in Italy for 1 month during pharmacy school. Statement number three, I know a few words in Swedish. So you get to guess. And I'm not going to answer until I get some live people here with me. So I will answer whenever we get some people on here. Okay. I know it's summer. I know everybody's busy. You're traveling, but if you're here with me, yes, I see some people joining. Awesome. Drop your questions. This is a safe space for you to literally ask me anything. If you want to ask me what my lipstick color is that I use in all of my photo shoots, if you want to ask me whatever, I am here for it. Anything business related or otherwise. So I'm here to be of service to you, just to give you some ideas related to content that or questions you can ask. Things like book writing or entrepreneurship or balancing motherhood and business, any of those things, I'm happy to answer. And I'm just going to keep an eye because sometimes I don't see comments here. So I just want to make sure that everybody's able to hear me. Just give me some love here. Let me know that you can hear me and see me. Awesome. Okay, and don't be shy. Literally, you can ask me whatever you need to ask. And if not, I'll just start talking because you guys know I love to talk. And I am throwing it back to Healers in Healthcare. Good, you can hear me. Hi, Dixie. I see Peggy Riggins, and that I don't know how to say your name. It's Khtija. Tiffany's here. Awesome. Okay, cool. So I'll say it again because this is funny. Just like, let's have fun today. So two truths and a lie. So I'm gonna say it again. So you guys know how this game works is you have to guess which one is a lie. Okay, so three statements. I won a bikini contest in Las Vegas. The second one is I lived in Italy for a month during pharmacy school. And the third statement is I know a few words in Swedish. So guess which one is not true. And then I'll tell you a little bit more about about that. I will just zip it until you decide. Statement one, two, or three, which one's a lie? Oh, and hopefully I'm seeing the comments here. I do see Tiffany. And feel free, like once you pop on, just drop your question. If you know bikini contest is a lie. Actually, it's not a lie. That is that is true. That is a true statement. I back in 10 years ago, actually, my bosses at my independent pharmacy paid for me to go to some conference. They were getting reimbursed. It was some kind of rebate, and I got to go on this trip for free. So I got to go to Las Vegas. It was like July 2015, and I was by myself. And I was 20, however, minus 10 years, 26, 27 years old, and I saw I saw this billboard, and it was like Senor Frog's bikini contest. I'm like, I'm doing this. Like, I don't care. When am I ever going to have the opportunity to do this again? And I was not probably the best looking, and I didn't do any like crazy like slutty moves or anything like that, but I got the audience like all revved up, and it was whoever had the loudest cheer was the person that won. And I was like, I told this group of bachelorette, they were on their like bachelor party. I was like, all right, make sure you yell really loud. And I won. And I think it was like, it was money. I think I won money. And then I also won like some kind of alcohol. So that is a true statement. The lie is I do not know any words in Swedish whatsoever. So I did live in Italy for a month in pharmacy school. That was a ton of fun. I have never walked so much in my life. If I had a Fitbit back then, gotten, I'm sure I would have gotten like 10,000 steps a day. Okay. So it looks like I'm seeing the comments, which is awesome. Now that we broke the ice here and you guys know about my bikini days back in the day, ask me anything that you would like to know. If not, like I have a ton of questions here, or you can pick a number from 1 to 20. I have 20 questions, and then I will, depending on what number you pick, I will answer the question I have. So either ask your question, pick a number, or if you're watching the replay, I will come back into the group and answer the questions that you have. So, by the way, it is hot as hell here in Pittsburgh. That's where I am. It's 90 something degrees in the car, and Lindsay's at daycare. I'm like, they probably are not going outside at all today. 4. Okay, Dixie Cooper, number 4. Okay, what inspired me to write my book? So ChatGPT actually generated these, so I have to think for a second. So with all of the books that I've written, I have a process and a way that I write them that I finish books in like 2 months. It's bizarre, but it's because I know the process of how I'm going to do it. So what I do is I always say God is my CEO. So I get these divine downloads and it'll be like, okay, write a book on X, right? And it's typically something that I've gone through that was challenging. So like with this last book, the Expanding Your Brilliance book, this was all about balancing motherhood and business. So I didn't want it to just be for entrepreneurs, but women who are struggling with postpartum anxiety or different challenges that we experience in motherhood. And so I wanted to have this be an anthology. So there's 14 moms in business that are part of this book. And that is important because I wanted the book to be more than just my voice. I wanted to have multiple different perspectives. So I definitely highly recommend this book, by the way. And there's also my Expanding Your Brilliance retreat that I have created that I'm super excited about. And I have been working behind the scenes on creating brand new content that I've never taught before. And again, that gets divinely channeled through me. So I see Lynn, I see Kate. We got everybody. This is birthday edition. My birthday's on Thursday. If you have Starbucks recommendations for a fun birthday drink, drop that too in the comments here. Okay. Da, 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 da. This is great. Thank you, Tiffany. How do you tune in, remove distractions? Okay. Yeah. So whenever I first started this journey, there was a lot of trauma, a lot of unresolved trauma that showed up in the form of, I call them competing voices. So there's fear, our own internal fear that gets in the way, imposter syndrome, I'm not good enough, the unworthiness, there's that piece of it. Then there are different parts of us that come up from people in our actual environment. So like parents or maybe a spouse or some people that, you're sharing your dream or you're sharing something from your heart and they unconsciously are projecting fears onto you. So I almost see it as a cloud that's covering your light. So in order for us to really hear God's divine messages is the way that it comes through and strengthening that intuition, it involves doing this inner healing work. So also I would say to somebody, if you're brand new to starting to kind of channel and hear these messages, that meditation is huge. However, it is that you can kind of quiet that external stimulation and be with yourself, because when we have a lot of stimulation in our external environment, and then we also have that internal critic and these different protective parts that come up, those two things can really cloud your intuition. So I would practice strengthening that muscle by pausing. And, if you get that kind of quiet whisper to reach out to somebody, or like say that you have a dream or desire and you get like a very quiet whisper, that is typically going to be God's voice. It's true. It feels like a little bit like there's fear, but then there's also like a low note of like excitement as well. There's like something underneath it that's like, ooh, like I'm afraid of this, but like I'm also really excited. And so what I encourage you to do with that is strengthen the muscle. And maybe you do it in small ways, because if you're used to operating from fear and, thinking of like even prescription glasses, you're used to seeing life through a certain lens based upon your past experiences, based upon trauma. And so this healing work that I always talk about, nervous system work, almost helps you have a clearer intuition, have a clearer vision for your life, not have some of these competing voices muddle and quiet that intuitive ability, if that makes sense. So practice trusting yourself. So how do you make decisions? What feels like a yes? Like I have in my Rise and Receive membership, and Tiffany, you're part of that. There is an actual meditation called, I can't remember the name of it, but it's strengthening your knowing when something is a yes to you and when something's a no. So I think that it's just a practice and an evolution as you start to trust yourself more. Because whenever we are little, think about when we're new to the world, we're looking outside of ourselves for validation, for am I doing this right? We look to our adults, we look to people outside of us, and so we're not used to turning internally and plugging into source, into God to receive. Like it's not something that we typically do. So it takes intention, it takes practice, and I love your question. So I just went on a whole riff about that. Okay. So if anybody wants to ask questions, ask them. If not, pick a number. I will share some of the things that I have here. Okay. Some of them are fun ones too. Like I have it just for fun. I have motherhood and business, business and purpose, book writing and creativity, birthday themed fun. So, okay. Oh, hi, Blessing. So nice to meet you here. Mm, yes. So the short answer here is it took me some time. And so I'm going to kind of go back to the beginning. So I graduated pharmacy school in 2012. I went and pursued a residency. Because of that, my birthday's June 26th, so Thursday. I went and pursued a residency. My parents were furious at me because my dad wanted me to take over his pharmacy. I just knew that was like actually, Tiffany was talking about intuition. That was the first time that I really felt um, pulled to something. And I knew that I had to trust that voice beyond any fear that I had, because I knew my parents were going to be pissed off. But I went that route and I got kicked out of my house. I was homeless. There were just so many uh, ways that God was using that time in my life to kind of rebuild into who I am now. And I'm getting chills as I talk about this. And during that time, I finally got my residency, and there's a whole story behind that, but I'm just giving you kind of the abridged version. I also was going through integrative nutrition because I'm crazy, and I was working like 60 hours a week to pay my bills. And then on top of that, I was like, I want to be a health coach. And for 7 years, from 2012 to 2019, I did a lot of personal development. I went to Tony Robbins events. I went to conferences. I invested in, like I went to Bali and wrote my first book, and all of these just really cool experiences that I would not change for anything. And as a result of that, I was still working part time I worked in an independent pharmacy when I worked in Brooklyn. Then I moved here to Pittsburgh and I was working at a pharmacy, and then a Rite Aid, which now all of the Rite Aids around here are closing, which is really sad. And one day I was, working back to back 12-hour shifts. I was exhausted. I had like that, like trapezius muscle was just like always spasming, and I had to wear thermocare patches, and I was just miserable. And before that time, I never really went all in on my business. Like I had done little things that, like I said, like a retreat here and there, and um, I never really invested in myself with like a business coach. And then there was a point where I was like, it was my fuck it moment, and I was like, I'm done. It was April of 2019, so 6 years ago, and there was a coach who I had followed for a while. I hired a couple coaches that year, and she taught me strategy, and it was helpful. And I called in clients. I had, retreats that I was doing. I had multiple income streams. So I was building all during that time, right? From 2012 to that point. And then I really went all in and I invested in myself $50,000 about in that year, multiple coaches. I did like a deep dive retreat with a coach who's not even, she's not coaching anymore. And I realized that a lot of what was blocking me was this pattern that was showing up in sales calls. And I would attract people into my business, and then I would get on discovery calls with them or have conversations, and like something would, like they wouldn't move forward. And I started to be like, okay, there's a pattern here. There's something going on, that I know this strategy that this coach is teaching me, but something's not clicking. And it wasn't until I did some of this deeper healing work around unworthiness, around my control patterns, around people pleasing and not really being direct with people and saying the truth of what's there, and calling them into the transformation. So there were a lot of those energetic things that I'm talking about, the internal shifts that had to happen, as well as the practical pieces that I wasn't even seeing because I was too close to my business. So because of that, again, I use a lot of my experiences to help people who, like, say I'm on chapter 10, like I want to help people that are chapter 8, 5, 3, 2 to accelerate the path. So you don't have to go through all the missteps and the mistakes that I made, because I have made many, many mistakes. I don't even like to call them mistakes, but like learning opportunities. And then from there, I was able to scale and go full time. So I've been a full time entrepreneur now for 6 years. I love it. I'm a nerd. I have multiple ways that people can work with me. I write books, I host retreats, I have VIP days, I have people that just want the DIY courses and they can go buy that. So that is my recommendation, is to take the step, kind of what, this is all tying in beautifully because Tiffany had talked about the intuition, and that's how I've decided things in my business. And I was talking about this with my other coach, that if you want to be successful in your business, you need to make decisions. So many people hover in hesitation, and it takes them a long time to move forward. But in entrepreneurship, you have to make decisions. You have to be able to trust yourself to know, okay, what is my next step here? Is it to hire a coach? Is it to go to that retreat? And trusting that intuitive nudge, that is how I've had the success that I've had. And I wish that I would have, from 2012 to 2019, just been like, let's go, and hired a coach, because there is nothing like having somebody who can see your blind spots and help you and say, hey, listen, like this is what's not working, and this is where you can redirect your energy so that we're really laser focused. And that's why I say in my tagline, skyrocket your confidence, clients, cash flow, because when you have the four qualities of energy, focus, speed, power, momentum, you skyrocket. And that's how you have results that are sustainable. When you can utilize your energy efficiently, that's how you are able to be full time. Yes, yes. I have two coaches right now. Quite an insightful journey. Oh, you're so sweet. I'm so glad you're here again. I know I said that before. I love having your energy here. Yes, so I have a nervous system coach and I have a business coach that I work with. Um, I've taken bouts of just, I guess, not time off, but I'm drawn to different people depending on what phase of my business I'm in. So that's a really good question. Sometimes like I'll work with my nervous system coach and then maybe like the business coach, ends and then I'm like, oh, I want to work with this person. And again, it all comes back to trusting myself and knowing that when I want something like a TED talk, you go further faster with help. Because I've known people that, they've, tried to do it alone and it doesn't work. So I highly recommend, just like, Tiffany, we always talk about this, how Olympic athletes have coaches or, I'm trying to think of like, I'm sure people, like I watch that show, The Kitchen, and I'm sure that they have coaching in some way, like how to make a certain dish or whatever that might be. So sometimes we can't see what's blocking us and we need that outside input to accelerate the path so that we're not just spinning our wheels doing things that are not leading to results. So, all right, did anybody else ask a question here or drop a comment? What do you think? Okay. So, pick a number from 1 to 20. We already picked 4. So, if anybody else has questions, ask away. Marlene, I know you're here. Let me just check Facebook on here. Make sure I'm not missing anything. Okay. Drop a number. Aw, Aisha, trying to figure out how to join your live. Oh no. Aisha, I'm here. I'm here. Uh, oh, yeah, that's really tough. Okay. So I'm going to read your comment, Dixie. Thank you for being here. Yeah. Okay. So a pharmacist I work with at another location has an overwhelming strong energy. I've been a pharmacist in charge for 20 plus years, very negative. Mm-hmm. Scary strong. Okay. So what happens in your body when you're in this person's energy? I'm curious, like what gets stirred up in you? And I'm going to give you some energetic practices that you can do to kind of protect yourself. So the first one is you can create almost an energetic boundary or shield around you. So you can even imagine that there is a golden light, whether it's a bubble, whether it's a sphere, whatever your intuition comes up with. And I'm getting chills for you. I feel like this will really help you. So you are going to just imagine before walking into this person's presence, I want you to almost want to hide. So that like hiding energy. Okay. So this is how you're going to energetically prep yourself. What I want you to do before, maybe you're in your car or something like that, before you even walk into the building and have interaction with this person, I want you to just take a couple deep breaths. You can even do this with me here now. Just place your hand on your heart. I want you to say, I am safe. I am safe. Just really feeling that. Bringing yourself back into safety because it sounds like your body goes to complete shutdown. So there's fight, flight, freeze, and shutdown. And there's this polyvagal ladder that I talk about a lot. The top of the ladder is ventral vagal, where we feel safe, we feel connected, confident, engaged. Then there's fight or flight, which is, like anxiety, defensiveness, flight. A lot of people just want to run away. Freeze is you can't move, you want to move, you can't move. It's like having the gas and brake on at the same time. And then there's complete shutdown, which is wanting to hide. So I really want to just honor this. And it's such a strong reaction that this evokes in you. Um, so you can do that and just anchor in, like even feeling your feet physically on the ground and be like, I am safe in this moment. I am safe. There is nothing that anybody can do that is going to hurt me. I am protected. And I want you to pick three qualities of this bubble. So this is your energy that you get to bring into this equation. So maybe it's like protection or peace or love, because it sounds like this person is probably struggling. I feel like they're a person that is holding a lot. And so, what is that? What is this bubble of protection? What do you want to call it? And this is for anybody here. This is an energetic boundary that you can set that this person can't cross. You also have the option to, well, like, is there something that you want to say? Is there something that would help you feel more safe in that moment? Like, what would bring you more safety? Setting a boundary, having this protection, grounding yourself. You know yourself best. I feel so bad Aisha can't join. Ugh. I hope that she figures it out. Okay, so let me know if that's helpful. Okay, I love these questions. Number 7. Okay. Okay, this is the one thing I wish every first time author knew. So you will probably cry a lot if you are a first time author, because it's very vulnerable to share your story. But it's also so healing. Like the people who shared in this anthology, they were such a kick-ass group. I loved working with them. And a lot of them said that, yeah, I hope it's helpful. Please let me know, Dixie, how that lands for you, and what resonated and how this plays out. Um, okay, so the one thing I wish every first time author knew, you're also not going to get rich off of the book. There's royalties that you get from the book, but that's not what the purpose is. It's a connection tool. It's for you to be able to share your story, to heal, to transform, to help other people, especially if you're writing a personal story. I could not from the computer, but from the phone. Okay, maybe that's what it is. Okay. Okay. So hopefully she figures that out. Marlene, ask me any questions. I want to hear from you. Here. I'm going to see. These are so good. A blessing. Any other questions? And I'm just going to say, join. Can you join from your phone? Can you join from your phone? Look at the group from there. I don't know. We'll see. All right. Or pick a number. Pick a number. Okay. Now I'm not seeing my live. That's weird. Okay. Well, you guys are still here with me, right? Okay. How to organize too many things on my plate. Okay. Here's what we have to 3 buckets. This is in expanding your brilliance. Delegate, automate, eliminate. Delegate, automate, eliminate. What are the things? Let's start with eliminate. This is for everybody. What are the things that don't move the needle in your business that you're like messing around with on the back end that you can let go of? We're actually talking about this in detail at the Expanding Your Brilliance retreat. High return on energy tasks. That's what we want to look at. What are the things that are working? What are the things that will help you to connect with people, to build relationships, to build that pipeline, to invite them in at low tier offers? Maybe they wind up working with you in higher tiers, one-on-one. But we have to have people, like I always say, give them a Costco sample, right? Just like this. You guys know now a little bit more about me, maybe too much about me now, but create connection. Have people see you beyond posting, beyond chat GPT, beyond, like pretty pictures. Show up and connect with people and give them an opportunity to work with you. That is the easiest thing. That is like a high return on energy task that you can do. So many times, though, we're sabotaging. We're like, oh, but I'm going to work on my website. I'm going to mess with these Canva images and make it perfect before I post it. Or I'm going to share something that's educational but doesn't really challenge my audience. And I talk all about this. I'll post this in the comments in my magnetic messaging and soulful sales vault, which is literally, if you've been wanting to work with me, that's the easiest way to just get a Costco sample of how to work with me. So eliminate. I would go through that first. What things can you automate? So maybe it's something like in a Facebook group, you have a testimonial Tuesday, and each week, you schedule that out, or you have a virtual assistant schedule that out. So that's automate. So that way it's like, boom, don't have to think about it. Something like that. Delegate, automate, eliminate. What can you delegate? Even something like, as an example, Eric, okay, so I drop Lindsay off in the morning for daycare. Eric picks her up. Or I'll be like, hey, Eric, can you go get paper towels, whatever. Don't feel like you have to do it all yourself. Even if you don't have a virtual assistant or somebody that you can delegate to yet, what is something that you can say, hey, I don't need to do this. Can you help me do this? And that can be a block for some people because they don't want to feel like they are incapable of receiving, or that they're not capable of doing it themselves, so they can't receive. So there's all different types of things that can be playing out in your business that you might not be aware of that limits your capacity, so that, like, if you have, imagine, you have this much space in your week, that because you have all these things going on and you're not streamlined and focused, it's going to feel very overwhelming to your nervous system because you only have this much capacity. The work that I do helps to increase your capacity so that you have spaciousness, so that you're able to delegate, automate, eliminate, to have welcome in more clients and cash flow. So it's not like this constant, like, oh my God, I don't know what to do. How do I get more clients? Like, it's scaling from a very grounded space. So I hope that makes sense. Okay. Pick a number, any number, or ask another question. I love these questions. All right, we still got some people here. All right, so pick a number from like 9 to 20. Number 7. I think you said 7 already. I told that yesterday in my course. Yay! Melissa Turner's here. Sometimes I feel like this doesn't show all the people that's on because it's only showing 4 people, but I think that is not correct. All right, Marlene, pick another one. You picked 7 already. Lucky number 7. Or ask a question. All right. I'm super excited. By the way, this is random. I got this huge, so like, this is only 40 ounces, and I'm doing a speaker training in a couple weeks. I got this big ass. It's called Aquafit, and it's 128 ounces because I know I'm going to be busy all day. And I'm like, let me just fill this thing up once. And so that's coming today. Like, those are the things that excite me. Like, because I have no life. Because I'm taking care of a toddler, 14. Okay, here we go. Ooh, the hardest thing about motherhood is, oh man, when Lindsay was first born, my control patterns came out. Like, I wanted her to sleep when I wanted her to sleep, and she would not freaking sleep. And so that was hard. And that's why I'm only having one child because I can't do that again. I'm like, I'm too selfish. The first year is so difficult. It was for me, at least, because like you're doing everything. You're changing them, feeding them. It's constant. Thank God for daycare. This is raw and real. I had also a lot of like postpartum anxiety because of hormonal fluctuations. It was like last July and early August, and it was really bad. And so that's what I would have to say was the hardest part. Everything else is fine. If she sleeps, I'm good to go. Now she sleeps like 8 p.m. to 7, so I can deal with that. But that's what I would say. Okay, other ones. Let's go rapid fire here. Areas you're getting stuck. How can I help you? Social sales, messaging, visibility, fear of being seen, anything. And if not, I'm going to pop off here. So fire away. Oh, there we go. Okay, so Marlene, I wonder if you can come on here. Let's see. All right, I'm going to add you on. And we're going to. Hello.
Hey, I didn't expect. Do you hear
Well,
me?
yeah, I need to see you though.
Wow. I am on one of those days that I've been just studying. I'm trying to do CEs for my pharmacist license.
I don't want to hear excuses. But get your camera on.
Yeah, give me 1 second.
Because this is
What?
this is the breakthrough right here, right? If we
Well,
hide, I want to see you.
I don't know how to go on camera now. I cannot see anything for camera. So maybe I leave and then I go again.
I'm not sure. It should be right there. I'm on video. All right, let's see. There we go. Perfect.
Okay.
Okay.
How are you? I'm
So,
telling you, I'm okay. I'm being a nerd today, studying and nothing else.
yeah. So you're going to
So
help everybody else in this group have a breakthrough around being seen.
thank you so much. Seriously, I needed this. Yeah, one of my fears is the fear to be seen because my language, my first language is Spanish. And sometimes when I am talking, some words I forget in English and I kind of mix the languages. Not often, but seriously, it's not often at all. But it is my fear, and I need a lot of energy to do a video, and I have so many things that I want to tell people
Okay.
that I
So
don't do it.
what's the story you're creating around the language?
Exactly. That I will freeze while I am talking, and then I don't do
And
it.
then what?
Exactly. Then nothing. Yeah. Just
What's the worst case scenario in your mind if you freeze?
uh yeah, it is. Yeah, now I'm frozen. So
Okay, so you're playing out your worst fear right here with me. Okay. So what's
exactly.
what's your worst fear?
Yeah, to forget what I was going to say and
Okay.
to
What does that
freeze.
mean about you? What are you making it mean about you? What's
Not
that inner critic voice that's happening right now?
that. Oh my gosh, I don't even know what to answer. Okay, let me focus and yeah. So I am doing a video, and then I don't like my voice, and then I don't like my I forget a word, and then I got into a flight or fight response, and
Uh-huh.
then the ideas get uh, frozen, and then I don't do it. I just don't do
Where
it.
where else has this happened for you in the past?
I have, when I was in elementary school, I was the person that always was saying poems and everything because I had a very good memory. But one day I forgot what I was going to. I forgot what was coming,
Uh-huh.
and maybe I've thought maybe it's related to that.
That's why
Yeah.
I'm asking. Yep. So what story did you create at that elementary school? And you're helping everybody because this is how patterns sabotage your business and help prevent you from being seen, from being visible, from making the impact you're meant to make. So thank you for being so vulnerable here because you're impacting this entire group. So what did you make that mean about yourself?
That I'm not good enough.
Where is this in your body?
I don't know, seriously. Because,
Okay, if you did know, let's get that out of here. If you did know where if feeling just close your eyes with me.
okay.
Where does this live for you?
Yeah,
You know,
seriously, I
you
don't
do.
find it. I don't find it. I have done some videos, and and I have been interviewed,
You're
and it
in your
has got
head.
what?
You're in your head right now. I want you to just connect here, feeling your feet on the ground. Put your hand on your body.
Okay,
And
close
we're
my
gonna.
eyes.
Yep. Close your eyes with me. You're safe. Where does this, even if it's not a feeling, where does this live? Trusting your intuition. Where does this not good enough live in your body? First thing that comes to your mind.
Mixing languages.
Where is it in your body?
My throat.
Okay, perfect. So I want you to just gently put your hand over your throat. Beautiful. Just gently. You don't need to like choke yourself, but just gently. Okay.
I'm excited.
Yeah, good. This is your breakthrough right here. So what okay, so you're not good enough, the language barrier. What other thoughts come up here? You're not going to get it right, you sound dumb. Like what is the inner critic voice?
Christina, it is not even that right now. It is that I am always trying to balance time, and I am a nerd. As you said, I like to be learning and learning and learning. And so there is never time
When is
to
it time to shine? When is
exactly.
learning gonna you got to step into that a little bit to be seen. And so that's what this is about.
Yeah.
So go back to that elementary school self. I
Okay.
want you to envision yourself at that age. You were probably super cute. Did you have glasses?
Nope.
Okay, no glasses at the time. Just imagine yourself as this young child. Just breathe. Where were you in a classroom? Where were you at?
No, I was in the public to the no, just the school, just that all the students in the school.
Okay. So I want you to imagine that all the students have left the room wherever this took place. And so you can breathe a little bit here. And I want you to go in as the highest version of you, this divinely wise self, and go just sit next to this young girl. She was just trying to get it right. And now she froze up. There's all these fears. She probably wants to hide. And that makes so much sense because that's the protection. What did she need to hear in that moment?
That it's okay
Mm-hmm. What's okay?
to forget some things,
Mm-hmm.
and they come around.
What if she says, "But I'm really afraid now. I can't go back into that room. I can't face these people again." Speak to her.
That will be okay. Um, Probably it is her pride, you know. She was so very proud because she did always perfect, and then one time she forgot. So then
Mhm.
her pride didn't let her
That makes
trust
sense.
herself again.
Yeah. So if you could give her the key to trust herself again, what would that key be? What did she need?
She needs permission to make a mistake. It's okay.
Oh, yes. Because what? Because why?
Because the message is the most important thing because we are human beings.
Mm, yeah. So I want you to imagine that you tell her that, and there's just like a weight that has lifted off of her heart, and she can breathe again. Oh, that's what I feel is like just this breath of like, whew, I can breathe again. I can be myself. It's safe to be myself. What did she love to do that was fun and playful, like hula hoop? Like, what did she love to do?
What did she love to she loved to be the one that is a good girl that studies, that knows, that can recite poems. She wanted to be the perfect one. Yeah.
Okay, but if she could have permission to be a little bit messy and get a little fun and have some playtime, what would she do?
She will relax and enjoy whatever she does. And if she makes mistakes, she's not the only one. And I know it. Oh, God.
It's not about cognitively knowing it. It's what's coming up in your body, and you've been carrying this for decades. So can everybody here is seeing how this shows up from very early childhood programming that your body is trying to protect you from that experience again. And so even just this practice that we're doing, Marlene, you're doing an excellent job, is softening that protective part of you that like just wanted to know more, wanted to be perfect, was afraid to make a mistake. And so maybe we can today just soften that piece and give yourself permission to have a little fun, to get a little messy, that not everything has to be perfect. So how does that feel to you?
I really like this, Christina. Yeah. Ah,
Let's go like this and have some fun. It's
you
my
know,
birthday week.
I always want to be great when I have to go. Like, I say, okay, tomorrow I will do my hair and we will be great. Be beautiful to be on camera. And now here I am, like a nerdy day that I haven't done even my hair, and I
Here
am
it
here and
is. And
nothing
everybody
happened.
loves you in this group, and everybody's watching you right now, like
Oh
cheering you on.
my
So,
gosh.
this is the inner work that translates to the practical visibility. I love your accent. I love like when people show up as themselves. Like that's
Thank
like I
you.
love you. I want to hug you through the phone.
Thank
So,
you. Yeah, my
how did
story is a beautiful story,
Yep.
Christina. God, I came when I was 42 years old to the US, and God opened the doors for me here, and everybody opened the door for me in the US. And I love this country as as my own country, which is Ecuador. And I feel in my heart that I am here to serve, to help people to be healthy and happy.
Yes, you are.
Because
Yes, you are.
thank you for letting me. Oh my God, I didn't want to do this. I wanted to hide.
Ah! Here we are. So, tell me all the feels. How are you feeling? What's present for you?
I had a breakthrough, Christina.
Oh! See, God is good. There's divine appointments. Here it is. So now what is possible for you?
I am really concerned about the health, especially the US population. In Ecuador, people don't medicate as much as in the US. And because we have so many things here, we take many things for granted and we don't exercise enough. We don't practice good lifestyle, in the US. So I'm ready to go with my message, and I know that people someday cannot listen, but next time, if I keep doing, they are
Yes.
going to listen and they are going to improve their habits, which is my mission in this world to help them.
So what I'm getting, I just got a really powerful divine download for you. My voice is planting powerful seeds. And I'm getting chills all over my body right now. My voice is planting powerful seeds. Say that. I want to hear you own that.
My voice is planting powerful seeds.
Ooh, yes. Yes. Woo!
Yes, Christina, I love this. Thank you.
Good. You're so welcome. You gave me a birthday present. This is like what I'm meant for. This is why God put me here. So thank you so much.
Christina, by the way, my birthday is on the 27th. That's why I asked.
Ah,
So good.
Cancer baby. Yep.
Yeah. Thank you so
Oh,
much.
oh,
I
you
I
yes.
love this. Thank you so much.
You're so welcome.
You
Yes,
will
thank
see
you.
me. You will see me. I promise. You will see me on a video soon. Very soon.
Okay.
Maybe tomorrow.
All
Okay.
right, everybody's gonna watch you now.
Thank you so much.
All right, happy birthday, my love.
Thank you.
Bye.
Same to you. Bye.
Thanks. Okay, so change to viewer. All right, so that was powerful. So you guys got to see just a little taste of the rapid transformation that can happen. Thank you, Marlene, for being courageous to share your heart, to share what was coming up for you. There are no words for the way that God works. So here it is. So let me know how I can support you, how I can answer any of the other questions that you have. Maybe I'll do this every couple months. Ask me anything. But yeah, what a beautiful gift. That was a gift for me for my birthday to use the gifts that God's given me, which I am just beyond blessed to be here. Thank you for being here with me in this group. I look forward to connecting with everybody, to watching you grow and use your God-given gifts and to expand your brilliance. So thank you for attending. And if you have any other questions, drop them in the comments and I'll see you on the next live. All right, bye.